Hello and welcome to my channel. We are going to continue to just play in our watercolor sketchbook or paper or whatever you would like to use. So just having fun, no pressure that it should be beautiful or that we are going to do some masterpieces. Just simple ways of calm down and clear our heads. So I'm going to do some very simple botanicals today, and I'm actually going to use also some stamping and maybe some acrylic ink. I'm not sure how simple I want to do it, but let's start with doing a little background. And I'm going for my neutrals again, so a very light brownish yellowish tone to just loosen up and give the page something behind it. Going for some different tones of brown and black and a bit of yellow ochre. I've put some tape on the edges, but you don't need to think about that you need to do something like that. That's just me finding it easier to. These are loose pages, so they are not put together, and I think it's a bit easier to, if I tape them down, I can tape them to the other pages, and that way it keeps it a little bit from making any crumbles and roll up. Just putting in a little bit of splash. First I used the brown and then I took some water. Going back in with some more of this brownish tone. Left a bit of white around the edges so it don't looks like I'm too neat. So some drying. So the background is dry. You can see it's a bit of difference, and I had a bit of a run back. The water wasn't soaking in, it was pooling a little bit, so it ran back, but I don't mind. I like when it's texture, even if it's not the kind of texture that professionals think it's okay. But in my opinion, it's okay with everything that the color wants to do. So I'm taking my fake Stabilo. This is just some children's Stabilo 3-in-1 water soluble from Lidl. So I'm just going to do a bit of a botanical kind of background. We're going to do things on top of this, so this is just something that we will see a tone of behind the painting. These, as I said, is water soluble, so we're going to put some water on top of this and make them a little bit more darker and more like a grey background to the other one. So I'm just taking clear water and I'm going to take my textile piece and just dab it off so we don't have too much of the water. Then I'm just going to go in and try and let bleed a little bit. Just calmly enjoying the brush as it works along the lines that I have painted. This is rather good quality of watercolor paper, so it soaks in quickly. We're going to spritz some water on top of this also when I have done this, kind of activated it, so it will be more like a background. So now I'm going to take some paper. You can also use some paper if you would like to see if you can get a print of this. Oops. You can do kind of like this and see if you can save some color, or if it's just going to smooth it out. Have a little bit of print there, but not so much, but you can also use that some way. So now I'm going to go in with another layer and kind of just make this disappear a little bit behind. Kind of a little glaze. to put a little bit of salt on it. It's a little bit too wet, but we'll try to see if we can get something going here to soak a bit up, just for the layering. So this needs to dry a little bit before we can continue. So I will be back in a moment. It's dried and the salt is brushed off. So now I'm going to do some simple leaves, and I'm using my Art to Basic watercolor, and it's number 32 if you find that interesting. So I have this, it's kind of special, this brush. You have shorter pieces and a longer pieces in the middle. So it's very easy to make leaves like they are very thin. Then you can press down and lift up. You get this simple and beautiful botanical shapes in an easy way. Sometimes I just twist my brush and then let go. In some way that's easier to get this tip. But I still think it's quite easy to get it done. And you can do this, of course, with a ordinary round brush. It's kind of the same. It's just fun to try this brush. I'm not that kind of person that needs a lot of stuff and trying new things all the time. But this brush was something I thought could be useful with this look. Do some smaller one down here. So it's not empty. Don't be afraid to overlap, that just looks more natural. just for fun, I'm just going to take some white acrylic ink and see if we can just dab in a little bit into these, make some light shapes on them. Just for some variety. Then I'm going back with almost a black and just flick my brush. And some water. Cleaning the brush in between so we have a lot of water and get it to blend a little bit. So a few seconds of drying. And then I'm going to take the tape off before we do the next step. I'm going to take my stamp with some simple script on it, and I'm just going to use a little part of it and put down just a little bit of text here and there. Then I'm having a few pieces of, this is old paper from my wallpaper from my oldest house. I just love the texture of it. It has been pinned down with some rusty spikes. And it's going to get a little place on this as a little extra decoration. Maybe I can take a piece of textile too. This is some old linen. this piece of old book page that is watercolor painted. Taking my 005, I'm just going to do some scribbling. Just outlining one or two. Just because I like these lines, makes them look a bit more dimensional. Even as a really thin pen, you can still get the feeling of more dimensional when you have done a few lines with it. I have ordered a refillable ink pen 003. I really love this thin lines, so it's at the post office, so I will get that tomorrow and try it out. They can quickly dry out these fine liners, so I thought I would try to do a refillable and see if that can get me less problem. Something like that. And we are done. Doesn't need to be more than this. I got my minutes of relaxation and me time, and my brain is a bit less stressed. Thank you so much for keeping me company, and see you soon again. Bye bye from Sweden.